Round 1. Fight!
Hello my speedster friend, how's it going? Today I'll be looking at the Farewell Harada Tekken 8 Season 3 trailer. Stay tuned.
The king of Iron Fist, Street Fighter, Ninja, and as far as video games go, let's go!
Velocity and Z.
Hey everyone, what's the haps? Hope all is well, I'm Velocity NZ. If you're new, welcome, this is a fighting game channel. If you're a returning speedster, welcome back. I work really hard on these videos, so if you'd like to vibe with me over video games sometime in the future, consider smashing that subscribe button and joining the Speed Force family. Plus it'll help me out a lot. At the end of this video, I'll leave a link to my Tekken 8 Clive Rossfield trailer reaction. So some quick channel news. I guess on this channel I'm probably going to be posting a lot of outdated stuff. It's just that I have a backlog of a lot of stuff that I filmed and I haven't been super active on my channel, so I'm just going to be posting stuff that's already been filmed just so I don't waste it and it just provides me with content. I hope that's okay with you guys. Also, I got a new phone camera. So that means I can put things like my bat signal light on and the Street Fighter 2 shell and this light bulb thing. I can turn them all on without them like projecting too much glare into the camera like my old camera. I also got some LED lights for like the fill and the backlight. I think they're better than the softbox lights I've got, because the softbox lights just like wash out everything with this really bright light, and I don't have the space to put them at a distance, so yeah, I like these ones for now. I also got some new LED light strips which you can't really see in this light, but it kind of gives me that classic purple look, that classic Velocity NZ purple look. I also got a new interface, so that's for recording the audio. It's alright, it's not the best. I can't really get really clear recordings with it, but it seems hopefully it can do the job alright, and I'll test it on this video I guess. Also, I got this cool Jinx mug just after Christmas, which I think is super dope. And as you can see behind me, 2X KO finally launched, so that's pretty cool. I've given it a quick go. Not sure how I feel about it and the control schemes and stuff, but you never know. It might catch on like Overwatch did for me, with the kind of like simple abilities assigned to a button each sort of thing. So yeah. Also for Christmas, my brother got me a standard PS5 white controller. So that's dope. I really wanted another white one, especially one that suited my console. And I love that default one, so yeah, that's super cool. So, back to the trailer. I've already watched it once. It's pretty bittersweet that we have to say goodbye to Harada-san. I wasn't super hyped about the character picks, and I find it interesting that we've adopted the new like Street Fighter style of kind of giving you all the characters of the season that are going to release. I think that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing 3 characters at the same time. And I like that they haven't shown the original characters yet. I think that's pretty cool. I didn't mind Tekken's style of showing characters one at a time. Thought it was quite exciting. But I can respect that the fact that there are people who don't want to pay for a season and then not know what they're paying for, sort of thing. After the trailer, I'll talk about my own preferences of characters that I would have wanted to have seen again. Right, so this trailer is 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Let's roll the clip. Let's go! Those hoodies are fucking cool, man.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello guys. Yeah, to all the Tekken fans, thank you so much for the past 30 years or 31 years, whatever. Thank you. By the way, it's kind of funny because I've already left Bandai Namco, right? But I still have one last announcement video for you guys. Are you ready? Oh, okay. Oh, one last thing. Don't ask me for shit. Thank you. Okay, じゃあビデオ行こうか。
Thank you, everyone. And so that's it. Let's roll the trailer.
Yeah, Arizo's cool. I'm not sure what they mean by like going back to the basics, a fresh start. Ranked match reset. Yeah, back to the basics. I hope they're not taking away like all of the Spinneroni combo extenders and stuff like that. Because it was unfair that Steve had them but everyone else didn't.
We might have a brand new champion, and it's gonna be Newmont to close it out.
Didn't show her doing that B twist off. I'm sure she does a B twist. She looks sick though. That looks awesome.
Make some noise. We are about to get started with Tekken 8.
The onions didn't make it on the bun. Tekken 6 is wow. It's got like an onigiri or something. He looks sick too.
Season 3. New character.
So yeah, I wasn't super happy on these picks. I like that they've extended the kind of that special period where people who bought season 3 get to play it in advance, 120 hours is quite cool. But yeah, for me, Kunimitsu she's cool and everything, but not really my character. She looks cool, her voice acting is cool, her outfit is cool, and her moves are alright. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Kuni fan. Bob, to me, is my favorite out of these season 3 characters. I like the premise of him being a big character, a fat character who's really agile and stuff. I think that's pretty unique, and I do like his moves. He's got some kind of tricking martial art sort of moves, and I like his look. I think he looks cool. I like the design of the character. Roger, now it seems there's videos that I've seen on YouTube of really buff kangaroos, and it looks like this is Roger's father, who's, I guess his shorts have a pouch in them. I'm not sure. I don't think male kangaroos have a pouch, so the little kangaroo controls the big one or something. I've never really known how that worked. But yeah, in Tekken Tag 2, I always felt like Roger and Alex were kind of it kind of felt like troll characters. Yeah, how they would, I don't know, you couldn't parry their tails or something, and they would always do that power-up move, and it was super fast and unblockable, and I don't know, they just really pissed me off in Tekken Tag 2. So yeah. And yeah, I'll try to give the characters I would have wanted instead, and I'll try not to make it too long-winded, but I'll just give the characters I kind of looked through in the character rosters, and then give a little brief description on why I think that. Julia, for me, it's kind of about legacy. We don't really have anyone to represent Native American characters, and I think you can actually evolve their characters in a lot of ways, and make them culturally accurate or just more evolved. Julia got really cool in Tekken 5, I think, when she was suddenly doing spins and then into combos and stuff. But yeah, she's pretty cool. There was a guy in Wellington who mained Julia, and yeah, that was pretty cool. Lei, for me, is a big deal. I actually think Lei has main character energy. He was one of the main characters in the 1990s Tekken anime based on Tekken 2. He was him and Jun Kazama were kind of partners. And also they made Lei the main character for the Tekken roster and the Street Fighter Cross Tekken 4-part movie series, mini movie series. And he's just that cool, upbeat, funny kind of character that can hold a story, and he's a good narrative device, because seeing it through someone who's optimistic and kind of just, and I think he's a good character to be a main character. So I actually would have wanted him as base roster for Tekken 8. I was surprised at some of the picks for Tekken 8, but yeah, I would have wanted him for base roster. And as far as his style goes and his complexity, I don't know, to me, if they just did a 50-50 in each one of his animal stances, or rock, paper, scissors, or even just did away with his animal stances, or reduced his move list or whatever, if it's so problematic. But he's just a really cool character, and he's based on Jackie Chan, which is super cool, which reminds me of another actor I want to get into, but I'll leave that for now. Maru to me is pretty cool. I'm not really sure how the community feels about him, but I think that Blasted Salami Arya said, and what is it, Dash Fight now? Arya said he's the type of character that kind of blows up, takes off all of your health out of nowhere kind of thing. And I think that's actually a cool identity for a character. It might be kind of cheap in some ways, and I do feel like Tekken 8 has addressed, when it first came out, I felt like Tekken 8 addressed a lot of the kind of unfair stuff. I'm a Jin main, and Jin used to be able to parry rage arts and parry unblockables, and like it was super stylish and cool, but it wasn't really fair, I think. And I think now Tekken 8's addressed a lot of that sort of stuff. Like a lot of chain throwers have been simplified, and if you want the blue sparks, you do the complicated version, and all that sort of stuff. The evolution that happened when Tekken 8 came out, and the attention to what was making the game kind of archaic, but also the attention to what was making the game unfair. I thought that was pretty cool. So if Marduk came back, maybe if he didn't like take off all your health so easily or something, maybe that would be fair. But yeah, but I do like Marduk. I like that big boot kick he does. It used to be back 4 in Tekken 4, and his slam when they bounce up high into the air, and I like his 1-2 stance, kind of repeated like Lee Chao Lam sort of misstep sort of thing, and his grappling's cool. I just think he's a cool character, and his moves are super cool. His design is really cool. I really liked when they first announced him and he had all those cool tattoos, and then in Tekken 7 they gave him that cool hoodie, that cool hooded vest or whatever. So I like Marduk, so I think he would have been a good choice. Bruce hasn't been around for a little while, I think, maybe since Tekken 6. Oh, Tekken Tag 2, yes. But Bruce has some really cool moves. His forward 2 punch that acts as a parry and kind of like stuns them when he hits them with it. Super cool. Back 2 where he does like an elbow and a knee together. He's got that thing where he puts his hand down and like kicks them like an owl kick, like in capoeira or breakdancing. B-boying. Yeah, and then he's got that cool, I think it's like a left kick into an elbow or something, but he can like loop it sort of thing in a combo. I kind of wouldn't mind if Josie inherited a lot of those moves and stuff, and she was kind of the representative of Muay Thai, the current one, but with like a varied style on Falcon Realm's obvious style. But Bruce is cool. I'd rather Josie, but Bruce is pretty sweet. Miguel. I think Miguel's cool. I think he was always cool. I liked that the angle they took with the kind of concept behind the character. He was kind of like, his style was a brawler. He was a bar brawler, and he has like big wild punches and stuff, and sometimes he's off balance. I would have liked that off balance thing to like be an actual literal factor in how he plays. Like if he had like a couple of frames where he was off balance and you couldn't float him, but maybe it just kind of like blasted him away like Law's power jab used to. Law used to have quarter circle forward 1 would be his power jab, and upon counter hit thing, it would just blast them away, I think. And I'm not sure if you could follow it up like a magic fall, a counter hit roundhouse, which would float them and then you could combo them. But yeah, I mean, if Miguel just had that as kind of like a quirk and it actually affected his fighting style, I think that would be super cool. But maybe he would have some sort of thing an advantage as well, like damage buff or whatever happens at the time. And yeah, Miguel was one of my good friends' characters, so I'd want to see him. I think he's unique enough to deserve a spot, and he's cool enough. So yeah, Ganryu for me is really cool. In Tekken 7 I actually used him for a little while. I did the King J tutorial on Ganryu. I think he was one of his mains or something. I really like sumo. I've always thought it was a cool martial art, and also there was a TV show on Netflix, been around for a while, but it's called Sanctuary, and it's kind of like slightly dark, a little more adult take on sumo, and it's kind of got this anti-hero main character, and I just think it's super badass, and that like kind of got me right back into sumo again. But Ganryu, like I guess his character is kind of like comic relief and everything.
Oh, I get it. I'm just here for the comic relief.
But his moves are really cool, and I wouldn't mind some sort of evolution on those moves, just like current Tekken evolution, and maybe a new look. Couple of cool new outfits would be super cool. A lot of people don't like Ganryu. I thought he was really cool in Tekken 5, but yeah. Then there's Peck Do-san. When it comes to like Tekken 5 Peck Do-san, I thought he was cool, but I don't know, he became this like stern kind of patriarch figure, kind of graying and all about discipline and a little bit two-dimensional, and I didn't like his sound bites as much. But when he was in Tekken 2, I just have such cool memories of playing through the campaign with Law and getting up to the secret character stage, and then Peck would appear, and he just had cool moves at that time. He had his kind of skyrocket kick, hunting hawk, he had the first flamingo combinations, and I just loved his sound bites and his like how he sounded when he would throw out these kick combinations. And he kept that in Tekken Tag and in the arcade and in the PS2. And I think looking back on Tekken 2, he might even be my favorite character. So that's just how much I like Peck, what he was. And then I did really like his evolution with his blinking punches into Flamingo, and then he had that halberd double kick that he ended combos with, and different big kicks to end combos. He would spike them with that double hand spinning X kick thing. Oh, he's got a really cool like punch, hook sort of move. Yeah, so his moves are awesome, but I just feel like the character got boring. And he also used to be kind of like the silent guy who wanted to honor his father, and that was cool, but yeah, I kind of feel like he just got boring in Tekken 5, so yeah. But if I could relive the days where Peck was glorious again, I would love it, and yeah, I think that would be amazing. Also, like if they gave him his sound bites back and maybe they made him a little more wild, maybe his character became a drunk or a bar fighter, or like, I don't know, something just to snap him out of being boring. Although I do like that it's kind of an archetype that he portrayed, but yeah. Also, if they do make a Tekken Tag 3, which is always kind of relevant in the world of Tekken, and I feel like if they did it every 3 iterations, like Tekken 1, 2, 3, tag, Tekken 4, 5, 6, tag 2, Tekken 7, 8, 9, tag 3, and if they just carried on like that, that's how I would want it. But yeah, like having that Peck and then Hwoarang as a tag team and Tekken 3, tag 3 would be super awesome. And then with all the combinations of new characters that have come into this franchise since Tag 2 through 7 through 8 and whatever else we get, it'll be cool just playing with the combinations of characters again, and maybe seeing if they have cutscenes or special throws and stuff. I know Tag 2 was a commercial failure, but I just think it's such a fan favorite for the franchise. I don't know what they would have to do to make it viable again. Maybe just make it way more user-friendly, or way more tournament viable. If there is a Tag 3, I'll be super hyped for it. Another thing I've always wanted was just like a tag mode. Personally, I think my conclusion was that I wish every Tekken had a tag mode, and then they even had that mode that they used to have in Tag 2 where you can play with a friend online and you control your character and they control theirs. I also think if there was some sort of delay when you tag, because I felt like every time we played we would miss combos and stuff because we weren't prepared for the launches to come out. So if there was some sort of like delay, kind of like a slow motion or something, and then slowly speed up and then the next person can proceed with the combo sort of thing, I think that would be super cool. Maybe for tag throws it doesn't need to slow down or anything, but for launches especially, that would be that's what I would prefer. And yeah, I feel like in Tekken Tag games, it's always fun like putting the kickboxers together, or putting the Taekwondo guys together, or like a Steve who punches and Hwoarang who kicks, or Japanese characters, or choosing your main character and your waifu character or something, or just characters who in the lore share a storyline together or some sort of relevance together. Christy Monteiro from Tekken 4, she was my preferred capoeirista out of her and Eddie. When Eddie came back in Tekken 7, he was pretty cool looking and everything. I like that Tekken Tag 2 had Christy who was like faster, and she was faster, but Eddie was had more reach, and I liked that kind of variation that they had. But yeah, I'm just a Christy fan. She was one of my mains in Tekken Tag 2, her and Jen, and I like her outfits and stuff, and her personality's pretty funny, just kind of like rubbing it in people's faces that they lost to her.
Hey, you okay? Too bad, so sad.
But to me, she's like a Tekken personality as well. I'm not sure how big Bandai Namco is on palette swaps anymore, but I would personally like to see her back. But she wouldn't be a top pick for me. Elisa, I think Elisa's really cool and kind of a one-off phenomenon in that she joined Tekken in a game that was just kind of like an experiment or something. When they did Tekken Revolution, the free-to-play game on PlayStation 3, was it? 4, I'm not sure. And you could pay to play extra games or something like that, like how you would at the arcade. But she was like the unlockable character if you had enough blood seals or something like that. And I just thought she was awesome. Like, they were trying to make their answer to a super meta 2D character fighter in Tekken, and not only do I think they achieved that, but they also made a cool character in the process. She's very kind of Halloween, bat, vampire, yeah, super cool. I really liked using her in Tekken 7 before they like changed her moveset. Her stop combos were really just really cool to do. She kind of had like a FADC sort of heat dash sort of thing in between her combos. And I think the character is cool. It's just a cool character. And I personally am not ready to say goodbye to 2D. I know it was controversial, but I kind of wouldn't mind a few 2D characters again. Maybe if they have to scale the grounded damage more, or like make it so that there aren't like combos that start with jabs or whatever and you've got to launch before you can do your combo, but instead of launch it's like a 15 frame link move or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I still don't mind 2D, and clearly Elisa's in that realm somewhere. Kazumi from Tekken 7, Kazuya's mom, I think she's a cool character, and I think everyone liked her in Tekken 7. So I think it'd be cool if she came back. It'd be kind of cool if she aged as well, like if she had grey hair or something, or something about the devil gene like prolonged her vitality or something. But yeah, she's got a super cool style, cool moves. I kind of feel like they gave her too many moves where Tiger runs out when you go through her move list, but it's fun. I used to do them all the time, so yeah. And I like her karate style. She's got certain moves that are just super finesse and cool. Josie Rizal, I know in the Philippines they have a lot of Tekken fans. Her fighting style is super cool. I love that they kind of gave her a lot of Bruce's key moves, and even some moves that he doesn't do that are pretty cool. I really loved it when they gave her that jumping elbow that stuns the opponent from her wave dash, or from her crouch dash. I kind of wish she had a wave dash, actually, like repetitive wave dash. I don't know why they didn't give her that. Maybe it would have been too overpowered or something, but I think that would have been sick. Also, there were, I can't remember what the rumors were, but there was talk about having her character join the Mishima Zaibatsu or something, like the soldiers that you see in Tekken Force mode and stuff like that. I can't remember what the story was, but I read that somewhere. Also, she was kind of lacking in character, like making her cry a lot was kind of like a last minute adjustment. Her red ribbon was kind of a last minute adjustment to make her have a silhouette. I think some like a do-over, not entirely, but just a bit of a overhaul and a rework, and giving her some more of those Bruce moves, those really cool Bruce moves, would be cool. Yeah, Josie is probably one of my top picks, but you know, we'll see what people add. And yeah, another one of my top picks is Katarina, and I think she's just a badass. Like, a lot of people hated the fact that you could kind of just mash 4 with her, and she would do that kick combo with the magic 4 that would launch them, and then she'd do 4 kicks after it, 3 kicks after it, I think. Or you could mash any button, 2-2. I'm not sure if that had plus frames or whatever, but yeah, she's got really cool moves. Like up forward 3+4 is really cool. I like her back flip. I like that kick where she kind of holds her leg back and then kicks. I think it's forward 3+4. I'm not too sure. Her dash options are cool, and her kind of like snake edge after the dash, it looks really dope. I like her rage drive where she knocks them down and then does like a dropping elbow on them. Just like a stylish character, and I'd like to see her back. And then just like with regards to guest characters, these are kind of whatever, but I just wanted to say them somewhere since we're on the topic of characters you'd like to see. So I would like to see Scorpion, Sub-Zero, or Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat, but like let's say they chose Scorpion. I still think finish him would be really cool for a Mortal Kombat character, just like how we saw the super meter when Akuma was in Tekken. And it was like, whoa, they're implementing the Street Fighter system in Tekken. This is awesome. I think it'll be so cool if at the end of a round in Tekken, it's like, like final round. It's like, finish him. And then he takes off his like mask and there's a skull and he blows fire at them and stuff. But I think if the level of violence was just the same as Tekken, so if he did that flame breath thing, it would just look like the Kunimitsu flame breath that we had in Tekken Tag 2. So like effectively we still get finish hims and it's still kind of brutal, but it's kind of like a mature level of violence or whatever the rating is. So we still have all of the fun of Mortal Kombat, but we do it within the kind of moderations and restrictions of violence and things that we have in Tekken. So yeah. Also, I think Reptile is really cool at the moment. But yeah. Then I was thinking Ryu, Ken, or Chun-Li would be cool to add. And these are all guest characters now, obviously. And I guess Luke. So Ryu is kind of like classic. Ken, to me, in Street Fighter 6 has a better move list than Ryu, I think, because he's kind of got all of the stuff that I remember the Shoto's having, and he's got like all of his moves are basically all of the Shoto things that I remember liking, except for his new jumping kick thing that he does. Chun-Li, classic. It balances out gender representation, and she's an awesome character. Her like Hyaku Retsu Hyaku or whatever it's called is super badass. Spinning bird kick's awesome. She's got other cool moves. Yeah, and we've already had Akuma. Akuma's kind of like more badass in a way, and I think that's why they chose him in Tekken 7. Yeah, I think any of these characters appearing would just be like, oh, that's awesome. From King of Fighters, I think, like Kyo, the main character, would be cool for that representation. We've already had Geese, which is pretty awesome. I never knew much about that character or never really liked his design, but I gotta say his moves were pretty dope, and I can imagine people being fans of him for that reason. Or for me, I think Iori would be super cool from King of Fighters, just because he's like badass, that kind of anti-hero character. He's kind of like Japanese emo or whatever, just has a badass style, badass aesthetic, badass moves. So yeah, I would love a Dead or Alive representative. To me, the obvious choice is Kasumi, the protagonist, and I mean, she's got a cool moveset and everything. I do have other characters I like. I like Hitomi, the karate fighter from Dead or Alive, and what's that girl's name? And Konoka. I think she's got a really cool look to her. Then, when it comes to Virtua Fighter, I think Akita's the obvious kind of character. We do have like a Baji-Kwan, I think, representative in Tekken, which is Leo, but Akita is like the main character in Virtua Fighter, so it would be cool to have him there. There's other characters I like from Virtua Fighter as well. I think Go, I can't remember his surname, but the judoka guy from Virtua Fighter is pretty cool looking. I like Vanessa and her aggressive and defensive stance mix-up sort of thing. There's the Luchador that I really like. Yeah, there's just a lot of cool characters in Virtua Fighter, I think. So Terry Bogard and Mai Shiranui from Fatal Fury would be cool. Rock Howard from Godot, Mark of the Wolves. Soul Bad Guy from what's it called? Guilty Gear. Ragnar Blood Edge from Blaze Blue. Goku or Vegeta from one of the Dragon Ball fighting games. Naruto or Sasuke from one of the Naruto games. Jago, Orchid or Fulgor from Killer Instinct. And now Vi or Jinx from 2XKO. Also, I feel like it'll be cool for Tekken to officially have a connection to Metal Gear Solid. That Heihachi and Raiden were already in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, but I think it'll be quite cool to have a Metal Gear character in a Tekken game. And for me, the obvious choices would be Snake or Raiden. Then I think we've got a lot of Final Fantasy representation in Tekken now. I think Tifa is kind of the obvious character to include as a guest character just because she's like a melee character, even in Final Fantasy, so that'll be cool. Personally, I find that in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and she's in other games, Sakura, or more specifically Dark Sakura, her transformation state, to me is one of the coolest fighting game characters, and I'd like to see her back. I wish she was still in like Street Fighter and stuff. I just thought she was so cool. I thought her default move list was cool, and then when you transform, it's like a completely different move list, but just like a variation on the first move list, and it's possibly even cooler than the first move list. Yeah, and it takes meter to transform into her, but I just found the character so cool. I love that character. And then also, it's kind of baffled me for a long time, but you know, we've got Martial Law and Forest Law, who are the obvious Bruce Lee kind of tribute characters. Then we have Lei Wulong, who's obviously the Jackie Chan character, but we've never really had a Jet Li character. You could argue that Lee Chaolan is sort of like him, or Feng Wei is sort of him. I think like a dedicated Jet Li tribute character would be awesome. I think he's renowned enough in the martial arts movie style world to be worthy of having his own character, and he's such a likable guy. But I don't know, maybe he like his kind of anti-Japanese stance in Fist of the Legend gave him a bad look, or maybe that I think he had a game on PlayStation 2 and they might own the rights to him as a character. I know there is a character based on him in some fighting game, I forgot what it was. He's a 2D kind of Once Upon a Time in China Wong Fei Hung character, I think. But yeah, I'd love to see a Jet Li character. And then I reckon like for publicity, it'll be super cool having real world fighters in the game. More specifically, I think, so there's a Japanese boxer at the moment who's really popular, Naoya Inoue. I think for people who are currently popular, it'll be a good look. And then for me, I just wrote Mayweather and Pacquiao because they're just like iconic boxers. And then like in wrestling, it'll be cool for like Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns to be in the game. And then for UFC, I'm not really up to play when it comes to like who's popular at the moment and stuff, but Dana White, I think that's the guy's name, the guy who runs it, said Chuck Liddell, Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor are kind of like iconic, but maybe if it was like who's hot in UFC at the moment, that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, when it comes to Harada, I'm pretty sad because I really wanted to see him and Ono-san make Tekken Cross Street Fighter, and I still want to see that. I think that'll be so much fun and just like a fun game. I think Street Fighter Cross Tekken was awesome. A lot of people hate on that game, and they did have some sort of like pay to win gem system or something like that, but I think the game is pretty cool. I put it on every now and then just to do things like have Kazuya and Akuma as a team, or like Heihachi and Akuma, or Jin and Guile, or whoever I want, sort of thing. But yeah, I think their whole banter that they had was really cool. And I wouldn't mind if if they were like assistant creative manager or whatever the position is for those games. But I don't know, maybe they've retired and they don't want to be in the spotlight anymore or whatever. I would still really love to see Tekken cross Street Fighter. I think that'll be an awesome game. I think it'll be cool, kind of like if the Tekken characters had the heat system and the Street Fighter characters had their super meters and their EX meters, and they kind of like balanced each other out a little bit. But yeah, it's very kind of bittersweet having Harada signing off from his position in Bandai Namco. I'm gonna miss him, and it was kind of cool how he was like the face of Tekken, and I think we all liked him. We all liked Michael Murray translating it for all of us who can't speak Japanese. Who knows where the game's gonna go from here? Hopefully the team that take over are fans of the game and have both a progressive, innovative approach to the game, but also a refined respect for what works and what people love about the game. Yeah, I am optimistic. But yeah, if you want to support this channel, I have a Patreon. The link will be in the description below. If you have any questions or any suggestions, you can leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, and share. And smash that subscribe button or hit the bell icon for notifications and future updates. I'll leave a link to my Tekken 8 Clive Rossfield trailer reaction. You can click on that here. Otherwise, I have over 100 videos on my channel, some of which you might like. You're awesome. I love you. All good? I'll catch you, Speedster.